Now, the Romanian deadlift is kind of a strange deadlift. There's an actual real deadlift, and I'm going to show you that one right now. And just like the Romanian deadlift, I suggest that you use some kind of plates. Like I said, even if you're a beginner or not very strong, use some kind of weights to just get this bar up off the ground, because the proper starting position for a deadlift, the first thing you want to do is when you step up to the bar to where your shins are actually touching the bar. Okay? And again, feet are about shoulder width apart here. Your toes are pointed out, so you're having essentially the same stance that you would have when you do a front squat or a back squat. From this position, what you're going to do is you can instruct your lifter to keep his or her head up, and then just go down and grab the bar right outside his or her knees. From this position, then all you're going to do is lift it straight up. That's the lift. That's a deadlift. Okay? You're down here, and you lift it straight up. It's a very simple lift from the standpoint that it kind of forces you to do it that way. Now, there are some common errors that you can have when people do this lift, and I'll show you those right now. The main one you see when someone sets up is they won't be on the bar. They'll be way out in front of it. And when they go to grab it, they won't really bend their knees a lot. They'll use their back. They'll bend over like this, and they'll just pick it up like that. That's not the intent of the lift. The intent of the lift is to work your legs in a similar way as you work them when you're doing squats, but also to involve the lumbar area because of where the bar is located or in respect to your center of gravity. So make sure that person is addressing the bar, their shins are touching the bar, their head is up, their chest is up. Grab the bar just outside your knees. You notice in this position here, my hips are nice and low, my back is arched, I'm not standing here like this. My hips are low, and then I just stand up with it all the way. And then I can bring it back down, and I reset, and I go again. The great thing about a deadlift is that it teaches someone proper lifting technique, whether you're lifting something, anything off the ground, whether it be toys or it's gallons of milk or whatever it is someone has to lift, bags of dirt, whatever they're lifting, these people are lifting, you want to try to lift the same sort of way. We always say you want to lift with your knees and not with your back. So if we're going and grabbing things like this, that puts strain on your back. Bring my hips down like this allows me to use my legs, which are much stronger and designed for that task. So a deadlift is a great exercise that teaches people proper lifting technique. Okay? If you're looking at teaching someone how to do a deadlift, a front squat, a back squat, you may actually start with the deadlift. Because you start, if you want to think of it, if you imagine a bar on my back right now, and that bar is back here, when I go down like this, that's the bottom of my back squat, well, that's the start of my deadlift. And what's nice about that is that you can teach someone, you can work on trying to get that person in that correct starting position, and then have them work on this lifting part. So you can coach someone all you want on making sure they get to this correct position. And because they're stationary, they're not moving, they're not lifting anything at this point. Then you just have them lift it up, and that's a pretty easy part of it, okay? The drawback with the back squat is that it's already on my back and things are moving all over the place. It may be very difficult to try to get that person in that correct bottom position. With the deadlift, you start essentially in that bottom position. So it's a little bit easier for you to coach them and to work them into lifting up from there, okay? When they can get that position down, and again, you're looking for the same sort of thing as we looked at in the squat. Back is arched, your heels remain flat on the floor, and that's something to watch for. If someone sets up for their deadlift, and their toes are like this, that's a problem right away. You know, they got a lot of flexibility issues in their calves and perhaps in their hips. And that's something to work on before you even begin having them do a lot of heavy lifts in that position. Okay? So that's your deadlift, your regular deadlift, which is not to be confused with the Romanian deadlift or the RDL. Okay?